Welcome back, guys. Let's get into another sort of trading day, back testing the futures markets of 2022. Probably see on my screen. So ultimately, let's just make sure my mic is turned up. Okay. So all I've done so far is just started to remap out some key levels on the daily. So what we've got here, if we look at ES, markets traded up into this CB daily and also into this overlapping inversion fair value gap daily. Now again, I don't typically pay too much attention to inversion fair value gaps. They are useful. Here we can see that accumulation of longs took out this high before the rejection. So to me, this is an area to be rebalanced. So it's not surprising that price has traded up into the inversion fair value gap there. So ultimately, we've got our key highs and lows obviously mapped out for this week, the various previous days lows. The key probably to drop down to the 4 hour, which I think is probably more pertinent for us. We are inside of this 4 hour CB, but we've got a number of overlapping confluences in there, so I'm not too keen to overpopulate the chart. I have marked out a potential SMT, although I'm not massively keen on it, if I'm honest. But anyway, let us just finish off some of the key price levels for the 4 hour true week open here. So we are across all three members. We are above, so that would support high probability shorts. There are a couple of things that I just want to put in, like so. Okay, want that level in. I also want, actually, let's just do that. So again, why this fair value gap? Because accumulation took place inside of it. Well, at least it traded to the highs there, but we can see it took place inside of it here. And I am just going to pop that in here. Okay, so I want those in there. We do have the 4 hour CB above. We've got this thin, very thin daily fair value gap. Do have 4 hour liquidity pool here, but it's in close proximity to the daily. That's annoying, isn't it? Okay. So before I'm going to get into sort of the lower time frame stuff, we're going to just analyze the information that we've got. So we are on Thursday the 13th of Jan. So as usual, IOF, ISS. So what we can see is near term, this is to the upside. Okay. And one of the reasons why, again, is we want the fair value gaps to tell the story. We can see here balanced price range. Price traded down into the balanced price range, didn't violate the lows. Or you can just take the CB, the BISI here, price traded up. So okay. So for reference, let's just do it on ES. So we can see there, price traded back down into the CB, and then we saw higher prices. Same with NQ here. So I'll just mark this up. Right, so the story of the fair value gaps is higher prices currently. So near term, and we've obviously got the high time frame displacement as well, and we've also got the market structure shift here relative to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so what else can we see? Well, we can see that the market has been manipulating old lows whilst displacing through old highs. And as I said, bullish fair value gaps are being repriced. And rebalanced. With the market showing a willingness to reprice higher. So that's key. Ooh. Look at liquidity here. Okay. No need to necessarily worry about that. We have taken out some external range liquidity. However, I would prefer to see higher prices with a sell-off. If I just pop out to the daily a second. Certainly with NQ. If we look at external range liquidity to internal range, looking at NQ, the market purged the old low external range liquidity before rejecting and repricing higher, targeting internal range liquidity in the form of the CB daily. So my immediate attention would be to determine price action within the CBD. If we see a high time frame cracking correlation with context, then this could support lower prices. Alternatively, could see lower prices targeting the old low. Alternatively, if we see let's have a look here. Yeah, alternatively, if we see price trade to and indicate via the lows a high time frame cracking correlation, we could see price seek the liquidity above the highs. And why would the highs be so pertinent to me is because if we analyze this high here we have SMT, and that for me would be a draw. There'd be true liquidity above that high. I'm just going to take swing highs, so that one would be like so. There'd be true liquidity above there, so that would become then a draw. Naturally, we have liquidity below this, below this low, engineered below this low, engineered below that low, and we have all of that liquidity resting below here. Looks something like that. Low resistance liquidity one below there. Haven't got to worry about that just yet, but just for reference. Okay. So, dropping back down to the 4 hour. So TOs. So I detailed previously how I identify low probability conditions. Well, currently price is above the true week open on all members, supporting the idea of high probability shorts. That's what I'm leaning towards. To see high probability longs, I'd need to see price trade below the true week open, probably into this CB, and also would need to obviously take out the previous day's low and so on and so forth. So yeah, so a bit to do there. SP, I've noted clean and clear swing points formed by a 3 candle formation. So this is providing clear so this provides the basis of clear liquidity, where a possible high time frame cracking correlation may occur. Okay, so we've got clear swing points above and below current market price. So more to do should the market want to go long. If it goes long from here after taking out the previous day's low. I'm not interested in the longs. I want to see the market come back to fair value, which I believe is true week open, then look to continue higher. It could reclaim this BISI here. That's certainly possible. Probably would actually want to see it trade below this previous day's low liquidity as well, but maybe not so on YM, and that will create the high time frame cracking correlation. But that's, we're probably looking, if that was going to occur, it'd be next week. Okay, so currently no high time frame cracking correlation. I have noted this because of the fact that we've traded into a daily SIBI. It's piqued my interest, let's just say. I mean, it's run out of liquidity. We do have this order block responsible for running out this liquidity pool here, and we've got real short-term liquidity there. And we've also run out this liquidity here, so quite possibly, although I would like to see previous day's high get taken. So anyway, so that's our view, that's the plan. We're looking shorts. Jump down to the hourly. Want to reference a few things. Actually, let's just make sure we've completed the 4 hour. That to me this to me would certainly be an area of interest. Certainly of interest. Yep. And because it's a 4 hour, not going to mark. It is in close proximity to the previous day's low, but I'm just going to mark it nonetheless because it could be of some form of significance. We've got the SIBI here. As I said, we are traded inside of this large SIBI 4 hour, so I'm not going to mark that up. Dropping down to the hourly. Okay, so we've got some hourly levels here, which probably rendered what I just did pointless. But nonetheless, we want to just recognize the 4 hour key price level. So that was taken there. London high was here, which got purged. Okay. That is actually okay. that low in. Highs are a little bit more. This is the most recent high that we've traded above. So it's Thursday, it's PPI. Just going to drop down to a 15. Just want to get some key reference points in. So this one, impact news. Equities open. Okay. So we know we have a good idea of what we're looking for in relation to the true week open. We're going to I'll leave it on the 15 for now. When I get up to the news embargo, high impact news, just going to speed this a tad. So we're above the true day open as well, so we have stacked confluences above. Just pause that a second. Okay. So see what PPI does. Okay, I'm just going to pause it there. So certainly looking like higher prices. Right now, YM is in close proximity to its high, and yeah, to some extent ES. Not as volatile PPI as probably envisaged. So I'm going to play on, see if we get a purge of the previous day's high. Come into equities open, which will add some volatility, no doubt. Okay. Right. Okay. Now things are going to get interesting. So just going to pop out to the hourly a second. So we know that what I'm going to do, let's just use this. Where's this gone? Ooh. Use this, but it's not the right colour. So that's just BSL H1, which was purged. That's what we wanted to see. We also have another one purged up here. have the same thing on YM. So we've ticked that box. Just going to get rid of this, not needed. Okay, so we've ticked that box. Now we have the stacked TOs as well, which is also important, and we're currently inside of a daily / 4 hour SIBI. Equities open. Probably a tiny SIBI in there, but this one to me is, I don't understand. Oh, you know what? It's like it's bloody crashed, which is concerning. I'll reload the page. This could be a good thing or a bad thing, who knows. Yeah, still doesn't. Not sure why. Bit temperamental. Okay. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so we want that marked out. $7.15, we want that. And want to reference that there because we can see that reaccumulation took place there, which is important. And we can see reaccumulation took place here, which is equally important. Okay. So let me just go out to the hourly again just for context. Okay. What candle was? That's the 9 o'clock. Okay, so I want to go to 5 minute. Oh, ooh, what time is that? Okay, 10 o'clock. So, now, we've got, let's just pop to the hourly. We've got a position swing point. Manipulation. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so we've got H1 position swing point. top, that's just for aesthetics. We'll run that here. Okay. Now, we haven't that candle hasn't closed yet, but potentially we do have with YM. Okay. And it's always important at this time when you're backtesting to go through your checklist. Now, this is not to say, because one of the areas that we haven't referenced yet is this area. Price can come and find support here. So it's not a case of just, oh, let's just idly jump into the trade, because this area is a key inflection point, and we also have made the case of how order flow has been bullish, right? So this is not without confirmation yet. Okay, so I'm going back to the 15. We've now got a key hourly, and as you can see, look at how that overlaps with the 15. So we know that this is a key inflection point. No, it's key. 15-minute. Yeah, that's fine. Just make sure that's correct. Yes, it is. Okay. Dropping down to the 5. So I'm not in a rush yet to get in. We have purged. Oh dear. Oh, because yeah, because okay. And we need that over here. As you can see, we've rejected that key price level. So there is a fair amount of confluences in our favor right now, whereby we can potentially look to engage. It's not fully formed yet, so we've got to be extremely mindful. And go back to the 15-minute. Sorry, the 5-minute. You know, we still could see this trade higher. Just want to make sure the M15, there was a, okay. but I do like. I haven't seen, if I'm honest, yeah, which is again, it's important to note these things. So we've noted the M15 busy, right? We've noticed that. We've noted it, should I say? But I haven't seen any M5 displacement. Now this could be the displacement candle. So the next candle, change that to 1 minute, is going to be important, right? I want to see the candle close. Okay. So we're likely to see 5 CB form in there, which okay, and we've seen that on ES and NQ. Now admittedly YM is not yet giving the signs that it wants to drive higher. Just going to check the hourly again. Important to note this level. Okay, that's a reflection point that is worth noting. Okay. Which is right there. Okay. 15. Haven't yet traded through Sibi, so we could find level of support. We've got a 5-minute inversion fair value gap, which is overrunning all of this. So again, trading below and closing below that would support the idea. So as much as I'd have liked that key level. Potential fair value gap in here. It's a bit high. To me, but we've got a large wick in here, which, I mean, this to me looks pretty balanced. If I'm being honest, looks really balanced. So, but anyway, we'll take a look at that like this. We've now got the 5-minute displacement. This could just go without us. If that's the case, we might look for is that an hourly overall anywhere? We've got the hourly basically, which will now come in inversion fair value gap that we could look to frame a position off if we get the opportunity. Okay. Right, so that would be the order for me. Hold on. Yes, previous days low. Okay. Let's just make sure our levels are correct. Yes. Sell limit. I'm going to save and journal. So I'm just going to do this on the other page. So I'm going to screenshot. Where's that gone? There we go. Okay, put it back. Let me just minimize that a tad. So as you can see, I'm just putting in the details. That, okay. Yep, stack TOs we've had the purge of the H1 level. We've had that. Okay, so market is above the true week open. So I'm just referencing now why true week open. I noted the clean and clear swing points. Price currently trading at the overlap of the SIBI daily and the SIBI H4, satisfying any high time frame PD arrays, because remember we haven't purged the previous day's high. That's important. We are obviously during the New York AM session. I've noted that the price is above true week open and true day open for stack TOs, and I have noted a H1 liquidity pool purge. Okay, so to me, if price trades back up into that area, then we've got a potential trade idea. So I'm going to keep it on the 5. I'm going to run with the 1 minute. Let's see how we go. If it purges the H1, yeah, that to me now is very much looking like a missed opportunity. Well, I say missed opportunity, it's just price has gone without us. We haven't had any form of retrace back into this area here. So for the time being, it's it's kind of moved away a bit. So I'm going to cancel that order. Let this rock on a little bit. We see a retracement. But I suspect there was a fair value gap in here. But as I said, we're not going to chase price down. This would be price traded up into here. Would offer potential trade, but I think it's going to continue lower now. So let's just see if we get down to okay. What it's looking like to me is YM. If we go out to the, let's go out to the daily. Oh, sorry, to the hourly. What YM is looking like it wants to go and purge. It's high again, which might not necessarily be a bad thing. It looks as though that YM wants to go and trade up into its daily civvy. So based on that, I'm going to hang fire. 1 minute. Actually, sorry. Let me just whilst it's being confirmed, just for reference. That is actually the current New York high. But I'm just going to reference those on the basis that YM may want to go back to that level. Okay. Not fully what I was anticipating, but we've got a consolidation here. It might want to go and run that, and then we get the move. It's still early. It's only 10:30. So, but I'm going to be monitoring this, because if we see a breakdown from this, as long as my stop loss is positioned in the right place, you know, I mean, it is looking as though so the SL there. It's where the price is rejected. I'm looking at NQ and I'm thinking, well, you've left relative equal lows. Okay. Let's go, keep it on the 1 minute. Yeah, this is, let's have a look. If we was to get in here, we'd be looking at that there, and looking at that there. If we were to get in from there, price could trade higher. We've got this fair value gap here, which technically we should cover in case price wants to go higher. It could be engineering I actually like this position. Just making sure we're above. Just make sure, yeah. So, ace order. Go with market. Now again. Hold on. Cancel that a second. And this place order. No, hold on. Hold on. Bear with me. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we want to market. Save in journal. Just going to add details in here. Oops, still applies. Same as the first one. Okay. And just want to take a picture of this one. Now, it is a bit more of a riskier trade, but the probabilities of the position still on our side, so I'm happy to take. Stop loss placement, you know, could be a bit of a concern. Gone with the more sort of aggressive approach. Okay. Now, I am going to bring down my stop loss. We took out this low here, so my stop loss, I'm going to bring that down. If price goes to take me out there, I'm okay with that. But for now, especially with NQ approaching, this will be an inflection point for me. This is where, you know, certainly I want to be at break even at this point. If NQ does continue lower. Beautiful. So stop loss is going to go to that high. Okay, and NQ has displaced lower. Okay, and what we're going to do is just put this just a smidge below. And we'll monitor that as we approach that level. So price could come take me out, you know, could come and take me out for break even at this point. There's no reason why it can't, because as I said, NQ is okay. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it as is. As I said, if it comes back to take me out, it comes back to take me out. We're not. Oh, yeah. Okay. There we go. So very little by way of marginal gain. I wanted to see the previous day's low get taken. As you can see on YM, it's now gone back to purge the high. NQ took out its previous day's low. When NQ took out its previous day's low, I trailed down my stop. So ultimately, let's edit that one, add a picture. We were running, there we go, so that we were running pretty well. Close positions. The end 166. Shame, but we were running sort of 2,000 whatnot. At the end of the day, the target was the previous day's low. That's what we was holding out for. Didn't quite get there, so we take the break even. And now, we could sit here and say, oh, did you trail your stop? No, I follow strict rules. Certainly getting into the position down here does create more tension in terms of the trade because you are follow it further down, but it met all the criterias. We got in. It did move away. Unfortunately, it didn't quite deliver what we wanted, so that's what happens. It's a break-even day, plus $166. So we move on to the next, but we're still doing well. We're focusing on how we are creating these high probability trade setups. The downside to this trade, and you heard me talk about it earlier, was YM appeared to me that it wanted to purge the high. So why did I still take the trade? Because I felt that there was enough room in my stop loss that if YM wanted to go and tap into this CB, if you wanted to continue higher, it could do and then move down. However, price moved down before YM tapped that, and by definition of my rules, I needed to move my stop loss down. So we could see price come tap into this hourly inversion fair value gap and move lower, but overall I'm happy with that trade. Break even. Let us just forward on and see what happens with price. We could see it now, so it's into the gone back to reclaim that. Does it want to go into the hourly? Let's have a look, see what YM does, and then look, there you go. And now we're probably going to go and take out the low, and there you go. So it's just unfortunate. It's one of those things. It did come back to reclaim, so you could see the idea of what I was alluding to. I wanted to see this take place first, and that's why my stop loss was here, because I felt it would give me enough room in order to for YM to trade that high. Then we see the displacement lower, so that's a shame. Could I have got back in there? Possibly, but took out 5-minute highs here. Yeah, possibly, but on the whole, you saw why that was a high probability setup. Now, ironically, if we cycle back to here, there was the 5-minute fair value gap, the corresponding one. Had we taken it on that, it doesn't come back. Sorry, the price doesn't come back high enough to actually take that one out for a break even. So there we are. Okay, so another session down, break even. I'm just going to make a note of this day. Okay, and I will reconvene back testing. So that's, like I said, that's a shame. You always want to try and capitalize on the positions. It's one of those things. Had I got in higher, then you are ultimately getting in higher. You're more protected, and then you can allow the trade to run. But because we got in lower, more aggressive, entry, you gotta be a little bit more coy. Anyway, that brings that session to a lovely close. I'm going to take a break and then probably later on today come back with another day. Probably look at Friday, as this was Thursday, and see what the market brings. Friday is typically a day that I don't particularly like to trade because it is the end of the weekly range. But we will see. I think with price action now, we'll probably see price trade down to the 3 week open at least. But we'll reconvene later and see how price got on. We'll catch you guys in the next one.